This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Tuesday, June 16th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
Anyone paying attention knows this is a defining moment in our city and in our nation's history.
After weeks of protests, the city of Indianapolis is taking steps towards police reform. We're live with reaction to the plan and how it intends to create a community dialogue.
A landmark ruling from the nation's capital.
I heard the decision in my staff meeting this morning at like 10 a.m. and burst into tears.
What the decision means for the LGBTQ community in the workplace and why they say their fight isn't over yet.
And coronavirus cases on the rise in several states, but not Indiana. This morning, we're talking to experts to see if a similar spike is possible here. And we do want to thank you for joining our team here on this Tuesday morning on Good Morning Indiana.
We want to say good morning to all of you and our Rafael Sanchez joining us from our Johnson County Bureau, his living room. How you doing down there, Rafael?
It's going to be a great Tuesday. The band is back together again, and Todd's forecast is a hit. Good morning, Todd.
Rafael, good morning to you. Yeah, if you liked yesterday's forecast that Alyssa gave you, you're going to like my forecast today as well. Not much different. Lots of sunshine, a low humidity. The only difference is this morning. As you walk out the door, temperatures this morning actually running a little bit warmer than they were yesterday by about 5 to 10 degrees. Of course, if you were out yesterday morning, it was a pretty chilly start to the day. Right now, 56 to 62 degrees. It's a great morning in progress with the sunshine and the low humidity. A live look across the campus of IU down there in Bloomington and beyond into Monroe County, and it shows you just a calm morning here all across the area. The satellite radar picture is quiet. Anywhere you go will expand out, and you do notice that there is some rain down across parts of the Carolinas and Virginia, and some of those clouds are going to try to head back towards central Indiana, but they should not be all that successful. We'll just build in a few fair weather clouds later on this afternoon, and that should be just about it. Otherwise, it's just all about the temperatures today. 77 degrees by the noon hour, and then Lauren, we're on our way up to a high temperature of 82 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out there this Tuesday morning. This is our INDOT traffic camera to the northwest. I-465 and West 71st Street. You can see traffic is moving along up to speed on the interstate, both northbound and southbound. No crashes, no delays in this spot to slow down your commute. Rafael?
The time now is 6:02 on Good Morning Indiana, and Indianapolis leaders, they're taking steps towards reforming the city's criminal justice reform. Mayor Joe Hogsett announcing a new partnership to meet that goal. Alyssa Donovan is live this morning at the City County building. Alyssa, explain more of the mayor's plan and his partnership.
So, Rafael, this process is going to take time, but Indianapolis is starting with a partnership with the NYU School of Criminal Law, and they're essentially going to create a study of the city together. And the mayor says the hope is that this will help lay the groundwork for a community-driven and community-monitored criminal justice system here in the Circle City. The process will incorporate community input and data to create an in-depth picture of what Indianapolis needs. The mayor says this effort is not just another study, but rather a deeper look at contributing issues in racial disparities, including health, education, and housing. Hogsett says the data is relevant to where public safety fits in. We spoke with a member of Indy 10 Black Lives Matter about the plan. She's hopeful it leads to true reform of IMPD and public safety, creating a new type of policing where sending a police officer isn't the default answer in a call for help.
Minneapolis, who was at the epicenter of the George Floyd incident, they've already begun that process, and they've already started the process of saying, hey, we need community members who are trained, informed, and well aware of what's going on to respond to these crises so that we can start to rely less on police.
The mayor says findings from the study will be used to hold law enforcement and city agencies accountable. Those agencies will also be held to a standard that is defined by the community. And during that virtual press conference, the mayor also announced that the city will be reviewing the actions of IMPD police officers during peaceful protests, as well as the riots that happened in the past couple weeks. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. From City Hall to the White House on this issue. Today, the White House expected to take its first step towards police reform. Sources say that President Trump expected to sign a modest executive order introducing some changes to policing. Among them, the order would establish a national certification system for law enforcement agencies. It would also set up a database to better track the excessive use of force by officers nationwide. However, one source says that Mr. Trump's order is playing it safe and includes only the initiatives with broad supports.
At 6:05 today, Drejon Reed's family will be holding another press conference providing an update on his case. Reed, who was shot and killed by an IMPD officer, would have turned 22 today. Saturday, family, friends, and others celebrated his life at the same spot where he died. Last week, IMPD released the name of the officer who shot Reed. It was 4-year service member DeJory Mercer. Officers say that Reed shot at Mercer following a high-speed chase, but his family disputes that claim. The case is still under investigation, and a special prosecutor has been assigned.
The Supreme Court making a landmark ruling protecting LGBTQ people from job discrimination. On a 6-3 vote, the court ruled the Civil Rights Act covers gay and transgender workers. The Supreme Court action is expected to have a major impact for an estimated 8.1 million workers in the USA. That's because most states do not protect LGBTQ people from workplace discrimination. The ruling is considered a defeat for the Trump administration.
Well, they've ruled. I've read the decision, and some people were surprised, but they've ruled, and we live with their decision. That's what it's all about. We live with the decision of the Supreme Court. Very powerful.
Monday's Supreme Court's decision in favor of LGBTQ workplace protections is being celebrated across the country. But this morning, advocates say the fight for equality isn't over because that's because gay and transgender people can still be discriminated against in other ways, such as denied service at bars and stores, and even face problems when trying to find a place to live.
Gay people can be denied housing, and it is legal in most of Indiana to do that, to deny housing, say to deny a lease, to pass over for a mortgage, to deny emergency housing and shelters.
Indiana is one of 29 states without discrimination protections based on sexual orientation or gender identity, but some cities and counties have put in place their own LGBTQ anti-discrimination ordinances to make sure everyone in their communities are protected.
The time now, 6:07. Want to get to the latest on COVID-19, the pandemic, all of this information from the Indiana State Department of Health. We now know 2,251 people in total have died from that virus in Indiana. 11 newly reported deaths happened between May 13th and yesterday. More than 355,000 people have been tested so far in our state, and just over 11% of those tests have come back positive. And we know some parts of the country are moving ahead with reopening plans despite some big increases in coronavirus cases there. As of this morning, Indiana is not seeing a COVID spike like places are seeing in Florida, Arizona, and Texas.
And Lauren, our Kelsey Anderson has been working the story, talking to the experts, seeing what they're saying and what they say a potential spike could mean for small businesses. Kelsey, good morning.
Well, some experts say that the reason we haven't had a rise here in Indiana is because the opening process has been slower and more data-driven. But experts say a spike could still be on the way, especially when we hit the final stage of reopening in July. It's been a challenging few months for businesses like Needhammer Coffee as they adapt and try to find new ways to survive the pandemic, while also following state guidelines. In-person seating is now allowed at 50% capacity in Marion County. It's another step forward in the state's reopening plan and a positive trend for businesses, one they hope continues if case numbers in Indiana allow.
We want to care for our customers who come in, whether upstairs or downstairs, and to not be able to have that connection and say, yeah, come grab your stuff and leave, doesn't build that sense of community that's really, really important to us.
Experts say more measures could be put back into place to ease the spread of coronavirus. That could include things like enforcing mask use and putting restrictions back in place for businesses across the state. We did reach out to the governor's office to see if there's anything they are doing to prepare for a potential spike in COVID-19 cases, but this morning we have not heard back from them yet. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Free COVID-19 testing in Indiana is now available to anyone who lives or works in the state, not just people with symptoms or in high-risk groups. To register an appointment, you can call 888-634-1116 or go to lhi.care/COVID testing. Again, testing is free, but if you have insurance, you are asked to bring that information with you.
Well, the coronavirus pandemic has left a lot of families struggling to pay for their bills. New at 6:19, the resources available this morning to help you and your family get back on financial track. Todd.
And Lauren, it's another beautiful day for us here in the weather department. Lots of sunshine, low humidity, and temperatures eventually into the 80s. So make sure you grab the sunglasses as you walk out the door. You'll need them throughout the entire day and really throughout much of the remaining half of this week. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 6:10. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
The time now is 6:13. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. In Hancock County, the death of a man in a retention pond in Greenfield is being called a tragic accident. Police describe the victim as an elderly and blind man. They say he drowned in a neighborhood pond near Davis Road and State Road 9. Investigators were called to the scene around 6 o'clock Monday evening after family members could not find that man. In Vermilion County, deputies say a 2-year-old has died as a result of a drowning. Investigators say the incident happened around 8 Sunday evening near the town of Universal. Officials say the child was playing in the front yard with siblings before they noticed that she was missing. The toddler was pulled from an above-ground pool and given CPR. Deputies say they don't believe foul play is suspected. The drownings on Sunday and Monday follow another incident of a drowning in Jasper. Police in Du Bois County say a teenager drowned after falling into a lake on private property.
Here at 6:14, we're going to take a turn now. Blue Indy cars are no longer on the road around the city, and their designated parking spots now sit empty. Now the city is asking for your input on what to do with those 89 charging spaces and the infrastructure left behind. Leaders are looking for ideas that do not require additional funding. The Blue Indy electric cars ended service in March after 5 years due to a lack of users. Suggestions will be accepted through August 14th. For more information, click on this story in the RTV6 app. Well, we have plenty we can do today, Todd, because the weather is going to be great. You've got the pool behind you. Maybe some people will go out for a round of golf. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, you know, anything you want to do outside today, you're in great shape. The one thing I'll tell you that you need to have, that is a sunscreen. UV index really, really high as we're getting close to the summer solstice, where we have the most direct sunlight of the entire year. That happens on Saturday. So have the sunscreen handy, but anything, as Meredith mentioned, if you want to do outdoors, it is a full steam ahead and a go for the day today. Plenty of sunshine from start to finish. The humidity today is still very low, but the heat does build as we work our way into the latter half of the week, and as we start to get towards the weekend, the humidity is going to come up as well. Our average high this time of year is 82 degrees, and we are going to be running above that number here for the remainder of the week and into the weekend. Outside right now, this is the view in Bloomington, but it's also very similar anywhere else you are across the area, with not a cloud in the sky. It's a very comfortable morning as well, with the low humidity and temperatures that are currently sitting in the 50s and 60s. We're right at 62 degrees in Indianapolis, but down to 56 now in Bedford. A couple of nickels out there in Greencastle, as well as Sullivan at 55 degrees, 60 in Muncie, and 57 in Tipton, as well as Peru, as we work our way throughout the day today. We'll warm quickly once again. We're up to about 77 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour, with high temperatures today that'll be in the low 80s, and then we'll just build in a few fair weather clouds as we head into the evening hours as part of a system off to our southeast, actually. We'll try to throw a few clouds back towards our area. And you can see the rotation here and how the clouds are heading in this direction. But we're not going to see anything more than a couple clouds here and there. Terrific Tuesday forecast for us. And TrueCast will show you those clouds just kind of building in as we get into the afternoon hours here and there. No threat of any rain in the forecast for the day today, or really in the days ahead. It's going to be a pretty dry forecast as we go into the remainder of the week, and it's been very dry across the area. We actually really could use a little bit of rain this evening. Temperatures will fall back down into the 70s once the sun sets. Going forward in this forecast, tomorrow we're up into the mid-80s, so tomorrow starts the warming trend. By Thursday, we're in the upper 80s, and then by Friday, that's when high temperatures will be approaching the low 90s as the humidity comes up as well. And then looking ahead even further into the weekend, it remains very warm and muggy Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, the chance of a few spot storms, nothing major, a little better chance of more widespread scattered storms as we get into the day on Sunday and Monday, but those are just their typical summertime storms. We are not looking at any all-day rains if you do have outdoor plans starting Saturday evening and then going through Monday. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. The time right now is 6:18. Let's get a check of traffic. Everything's moving along pretty smoothly so far this morning. Here's a look at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split, where traffic is pretty quiet still. You can see the sun coming up over the Circle City, so grab the sunglasses before you head out on the roads for your morning commute. We'll continue to keep a close eye on the roads and let you know if there are any crashes or delays.
The Rebound Indiana, our daily commitment of connecting you to the resources that you need to get you through the pandemic.
RTV6's Mark Mullins posed a series of questions to a certified financial planner who is part of the nationwide program offering free financial planning assistance to those hit hard during this pandemic. So how does this work for Hoosier families?
Our job here is to try to help them with some of their basic financial needs, and knowing that there are resources out here for free. So this is a pro bono work that other certified financial planners are doing throughout the country.
What are some common questions Hoosier families tend to bring up during these FPA pro bono sessions?
Questions of filing for unemployment, or working on a budget, understanding some of their medical insurance, more of the kind of basic things to make sure that they get through this pandemic, and which we still don't know how long it's going to take, but it's more of those kind of critical, urgent items.
The Rebound Indiana is connecting people to resources and assistance. What is something families can do right now to help themselves?
Sometimes finding the assistance that's outside, but also seeing if this is an opportunity to maybe tighten up their own finances.
Ed wants to stress this is a free service and it's offered in states across the country. No strings attached. Just go to the FPA's website and click on the COVID-19 Pro Bono Planning and search Indiana. We've provided a link to you for that website on our website, theindychannel.com/rebound.
Well, the pandemic has added extra stress to our lives, and that's not stopping some of us from getting more sleep. Researchers look at how the stay-at-home orders and social distancing guidelines have impacted college students' sleeping habits. They found on average that students have been sleeping 30 more minutes per weekday and 24 minutes more per weekend day. They've also been keeping more consistent sleep schedules. This is similar to what a study of people ages 18 to 65 in Europe found during the same time. The big question now is whether these habits will continue now that stay-at-home orders are being lifted.
One of the things that we recognize is that when people who weren't getting enough sleep start to actually get better sleep, and because they can, and they realize, wow, that makes a difference in my life, a number of people choose behaviorally to go ahead and continue to get that better sleep.
European researchers found on average people have been seeing some slight reductions in the quality of their sleep.
More stores are swinging their doors open for customers, and a lot of them are holding big sales. New at 627, we're working for you and looking at why now could hold some of the best deals of the entire year.
What better way to start your morning than with a Grammy winner? But for me, it's all about Lauren, Meredith, and Todd. That's enough for me. But coming up on Good Morning America, legendary Norah Jones performs one of her hit songs. That's coming up right here on RTV6. And a good morning to Tipton, Trafalgar, and Thorntown. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Easy, even Petey can do it.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 6:23. Here's a live look at your commute over on the west side, I-465 and I-74, where traffic is traveling up to speed. No delays here to slow down your commute.
Okay, so many little boys love trucks, cars.
Yes.
So much so that they typically have a bit of an obsession with them. And that is exactly what's going on with this 3-year-old in Arizona. So much so, he is getting a birthday present out of it. Yeah. Little Tyson here, he loves garbage trucks. He loves them so much that he had a birthday party that the garbage truck came to. He couldn't have a party because of the pandemic, so his mom called Scottsdale City Solid Waste Department to stop by the house. He got to climb inside the truck, the front, not the compactor, and learn all about the moving parts. The department even gave him his own signed toy truck. We're very thankful, though, we don't have smell-o-vision right now.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we are
and ladies,
all about
some of us are still 3 years old.
Yeah.
You know, some of us still act like we're 3, so I'm with him. I understand him.
Raphael would like a visit by the garbage truck. Well, we love Oscar the Grouch and garbage at our house. That is the big thing right now, so I totally get that, Tyson. Well, a teacher here, this is in Bolivia, has found a really creative way to keep his class engaged while learning virtually. Jorge Manolo Villarroel dresses up as Spider-Man and the Flash and the Green Lantern, any number of superheroes for his 45 students. His art classes, they're actually so popular that his students' siblings sometimes fight for the laptop screen. Very cool.
I could use that suit. I don't have that one just yet, but we'll see what happens. A big good morning to Antoinette Holt. She's our hometown hero on this Tuesday. She's the director of the Office of Minority Health at the Indiana Department of Health. Antoinette is on the front line of making sure that people are healthy and that they stay healthy. A big thank you to her. Now let's check your forecast with TK. Good morning to you.
Raphael, good morning to you. We're dealing with great conditions once again on this Tuesday morning. We have temperatures that are very, very comfortable, and we'll have lots of sunshine throughout the entire day. So as we get you out the door, you'll notice the temperatures warm pretty quickly now that the sun is officially up. Sunrise officially this morning was at 6:17, 77 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. So we have that quick warm up, and then high temperatures eventually this afternoon will be topping off in the 80s across the area. Pretty uniform temperature-wise. We're all in the same air mass here together for the day today. 84 in Bloomington as well as Columbus, about 82 to 83 degrees here in Indianapolis. Richmond right around 81. It's a very comfortable air mass as well. We do have some changes, though, going forward in this forecast. More on that coming up in just a little bit.
Todd, thank you. More brick-and-mortar stores are opening their doors to customers, and many of them are holding sales. This morning, John Matarese is working for you and looking at the reason behind the sudden sell-off.
It's the battle of the store reopening sales. As stores start to open up again after a 2-month shutdown, you may find some deals as good as a going out of business sale. Are you ready to shop again? Malls and retail centers are finding traffic very light as they reopen this month. So they're slashing prices to get you back to clear out summer merchandise they never had a chance to sell. The crazy coupon lady says TJ Maxx and Marshalls now have more than half their stores at clearance prices. Nordstrom Rack was adding an extra 40% off the first week after reopening. And it still has big savings on Vans, Tommy Hilfiger, Kate Spade, and more. And Burlington has much of its clothing and shoes at 50% off with insane prices on Nike, Sperry, and Converse. But from the Doesn't That Stink file, new COVID realities that could make shopping less enjoyable. Most stores are not allowing you to try on merchandise, even closing their fitting rooms due to health concerns. That means you have to guess your size, and if it doesn't fit, you have to come back. Most stores are also operating at reduced hours, which stinks if you work odd hours. But at least they're open again. Once the store's been open a couple of weeks and customers start coming back, expect prices to go back to normal. But until then, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
For more cost-saving tips and ideas, visit the money section of our website, theindychannel.com.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A man from Columbus is in custody for attacking the sheriff in Bartholomew County. The sheriff's office says the man walked into the office of Sheriff Matt Myers and attacked him. The sheriff managed to get the handcuffs on the suspect, but the sheriff suffered a minor injury to his knee. Possible motive to the attack was not released.
What person critically injured in a shooting on the east side of Indianapolis. Police were called to the intersection of Tallman and Roosevelt Avenues shortly before 9:30 last night. The shooting victim was rushed to Methodist Hospital. So far, police have not released any suspect information.
Casinos are open once again in central Indiana. Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson and Indiana Grand and Shelbyville both reopened Monday as part of the governor's Stage 4 reopening plan. Both casinos will operate at reduced capacity with slot machines arranged for social distancing, and all customers will be required to wear masks.
The Idle George Museum of American Indians and Western Art says it will be back in business soon. The museum will first reopen to members on June 20th, and then it will reopen to the public on June 27th. Visitors will be required to wear face masks, and they'll be given a temperature check. You're also encouraged to order your tickets online at the museum's website.
In-person library resources are available again at some locations in Indianapolis. The Central Library, along with the Eagle, East 38th Street, Franklin Road, Hallville, Nora, and Pike branches all reopened on Monday with some restrictions. All visitors over 2 years old are required to wear masks. Capacity will be limited, and there will be a 1-hour time restriction on public computers. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday. As I take a live look, I take a live look at the living room. The sunrise is gorgeous, but ladies and gentlemen, I think it's a perfect day for the Good Morning Indiana team to hit the road on a field trip and just do a lot of takeout today. What do you think?
Oh,
Franklin,
I like that idea.
Mooresville, Shelbyville, Martinsville, Columbus. We could do it in 2 hours.
So many options. It is Tuesday, and it's Takeout Tuesday. I don't know, Meredith, does your schedule allow a road trip?
Only if Raphael is paying for gas, because we had that story earlier that prices are going up. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Separate cars, social distancing, but the weather will be perfect for all of us to go out and have lunch. I don't know.
If only we all drove convertibles, right, Todd?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I got a sunroof, but that's about it. No convertible in my garage. But yeah, it's a good day to get outside and enjoy the weather. And maybe you don't even need the car. Maybe you just walk to some place to eat, or you get on your bike and bike somewhere as well, because we're going to have sunshine, low humidity, and very, very comfortable temperatures outside right now. Here's a live look from downtown to the north, and there is not a cloud in the sky. And here are these temperatures, which are running a little warmer than yesterday morning. As you stepped out the door yesterday morning, it was a little bit of a rude awakening with some temperatures that were in the 40s. We're in the 50s and 60s right now. 62 in Indy, 58 in Kokomo, Anderson, and 56 degrees. So very comfortable here throughout the overnight hours. Going forward in this forecast, we'll build in just a couple fair weather clouds later on this afternoon. They'll actually kind of drift in from east to west across the area. But it's another terrific day for us with the sunshine. 77 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour, with our high temperature today, Lauren, topping off at 82 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at that commute right now. This is I-465 and the Sam Jones Expressway on the west side, where traffic is picking up, as you can see, both northbound and southbound on 465. No delays to slow you down, so that is great news as you're heading out there this morning. We'll continue to keep you updated on any delays.
After weeks of protests against police brutality in Indianapolis, Mayor Joe Hogsett says he has a plan to put the city back on track for public safety reform.
And Meredith, that process may take some time, but the mayor says a new partnership that's proven successful in another city may help our city reach its goal. Alyssa Donovan joins us live this morning outside the City County building. Alyssa, you have more specifics on the mayor's plan.
That's right, Raphael. And it all starts with a new partnership between the city and the NYU School of Criminal Law. Together, those two are going to work to create a study. They're going to compile data and work on community conversations here in Indianapolis to come up with a plan for true reform of our public safety system here in the Circle City. The goal is to create a study that will be the catalyst for a community-driven and community-monitored way of justice. The initiative includes several steps, starting with conversations with public health workers, public defenders, educators, law enforcement, and social service providers to collect information along with members of the public. The mayor says findings from this study will be used to hold law enforcement and city agencies accountable. Those agencies will also be held to a standard that is defined by the community.
I realize that on paper, that may sound bureaucratic and academic, but it won't be. It can't be. Because the ultimate goal here isn't to analyze, but to act.
The NYU program is currently headed by former New Jersey Attorney General Ann Milgram. Milgram used a similar approach on the city of Camden, New Jersey back in 2008 to reform the city's police department there. She says that approach led to reform and contributed to lower crime rates. Now, the mayor of Indianapolis says this new partnership is meant to be shaped by who it's truly going to serve, and that is the public. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Outrage continues in Atlanta overnight over the police killing of a black man. Today, Atlanta is announcing some sweeping changing policies for policing following the killing of Rayshard Brooks. As ABC's Alex Brochet tells us, President Trump is expected to sign some sort of moderate police reforms into law this afternoon.
Good morning. Now, we're expecting President Trump to sign this executive order geared towards policing around noon Eastern today. And this executive order is coming as we're hearing the 911 tape that led up to that deadly shooting of Rayshard Brooks. This morning, we're hearing the 911 call that led up to the fatal shooting of Rayshard Brooks in a Wendy's parking lot.
He's in the middle of my drive-thru, ma'am. Does he appear to have any weapons from where you can see him? No, I think he's intoxicated.
The rest of that night caught on surveillance and police body camera footage. But this is the moment that's going to be scrutinized. As Brooks is running away, you see him reach back and point that stun gun that he wrestled away from officers at Garrett Rolfe. That's when investigators say Rolfe fires 3 shots. Brooks later died at the hospital. Protests in Atlanta over the shooting raged again overnight. The city fired Officer Rolfe on Saturday. This morning, we're learning this wasn't his first incident with a gun. His personnel file shows he was reprimanded in 2017 for use of a firearm. President Trump responded to the Brooks shooting yesterday.
I thought it was a terrible situation.
He's now expected to sign an executive order focused on police reforms later today. That order will include incentivizing police agencies across the country to adopt best practices on use of force, share information about officers' misconduct, and respond to nonviolent calls with the help of social workers.
This is about law and order, but it's about justice also, and it's about safety.
Now, this executive order will not push for outright bans on certain behavior like chokeholds or no-knock warrants. It also will not roll back any protections given to officers under qualified immunity. Alex Brochet, ABC News, Washington.
4 days after his latest arrest, a state lawmaker says he will step down from his seat in the legislature immediately. Democratic Representative Dan Forrestal says he made the decision to focus on his mental health. This is a booking photo and video from last year after Forrestal was arrested for impersonating an officer. Last week, Forrestal was arrested after police say he attacked an officer who was conducting a welfare check. Forrestal released this statement saying in part, quote, "We need to work together to shatter the stigma around mental health issues in the state of Indiana and address them with the same treatment and philosophy as physical health issues." Forrestal represented an Indianapolis district and had already announced he was not running for re-election this year.
The time now is 6:37 on Good Morning Indiana. Vice President Mike Pence is being criticized for what some call misleading claims about the spread of the coronavirus. The New York Times reports that Mr. Pence held a private phone call with the nation's governors on Monday. The Times says that the vice president encouraged governors to adopt Mr. Trump's claim that increased testing helps account for spikes in COVID-19 cases in some states. Evidence has shown that the explanation is misleading. Data from the CDC says that in at least 14 states, the positive case rate is increasing faster than the number of tests being given. Lauren?
So far here in Indiana, it's not among the states with a COVID-19 spike, but could one happen down the road? So up next, our Kelsey Anderson is talking with some experts to get answers for you.
Another sports league is coming back soon. We'll show you why the Indiana Fever will be spending a lot of time in Florida starting next month. It's 6:38. We'll be right back.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Well, some parts of the country are moving ahead with reopening plans despite big increases in coronavirus cases. As of this morning, Indiana is not seeing a COVID spike like the ones we're seeing in Florida, Arizona, and Texas. This morning, our Kelsey Anderson joins us with what experts are saying and how a spike in cases could potentially impact small businesses. Kelsey.
Yeah, we haven't seen that spike, and some experts say that could be because we opened at a slower and more data-driven pace than other states across the country. But experts say a spike could still be on the way, especially when we hit the final stage of reopening in July. Shandy Dirth with IU Fairbanks School of Public Health says it's something they are going to have to keep a close eye on.
And hopefully, like I said, if we were to see an increase, some other measures would be taken to encourage more social distancing moving forward, because we don't want to get back to the same spot we were in back in March.
Epidemiologists say right now the best thing you can do to help prevent a spike is wear a mask and avoid large gatherings when you can. We did reach out to the governor's office to see if there's anything they are doing to prepare for a potential spike in COVID-19 cases, but this morning we have not heard back from them yet. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. The Indiana Fever will be headed to Florida soon. The WNBA says it will resume play soon following a delay due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The league says teams will report to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida next month. Teams will play an abbreviated 22-game regular season followed by traditional playoffs. The Fever and the rest of the league will play all their games without fans, but the WNBA says all games will be live streamed for free. The league also says players will receive their full salary and benefits for the season.
Former Colts defensive end Robert Mathis will receive the team's highest honor this fall. Mathis will be inducted into the Indianapolis Colts Ring of Honor at Lucas Oil Stadium on Sunday, November 22nd. The Colts are hosting Green Bay that day. Mathis is the team's all-time sack leader and played 14 seasons with the Colts after being selected to the 5th round of the 2003 draft. He played his entire professional career with the Colts. Mathis will be the 17th member of the Ring of Honor.
A lot of Hoosiers hurting right now because of the pandemic. Coming up, a way you can lend a helping hand while you're grocery shopping.
And a lot of people continue to look for work across the state. Next, we'll highlight a couple of places that are hiring Hoosiers, including the local office of one of the biggest insurance companies in the world. Todd.
And Meredith, we're off to a great start here temperature-wise across central Indiana. We're running a little bit warmer than we were at this point yesterday. In fact, 10 degrees warmer in Indianapolis. That puts our temperature right now at 62 degrees. As we rate the day, it's basically almost a perfect 10. We have sunshine, we have low humidity, and seasonable temperatures. We'll talk all about today's forecast and look ahead to the rest of the week coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:43. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
Studio at Value City Furniture.
The time right now is 6:46 on your Tuesday. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Here's a look south of downtown at this active construction zone. Northbound I-65 at Keystone Avenue, big traffic shift. 2 big curves you'll hit as you travel through that area. Southbound side on the left side of your screen is restricted down to 2 lanes. So just use caution. Take it slow as you travel through this construction zone and watch for workers this morning. As the pandemic continues, many people are just struggling to make ends meet, and RTV6 is working together with Kroger and you to help our neighbors in need. Now through Sunday, you can round up your grocery bill or select a donation amount of your choice when you check out at 46 participating Kroger locations. That money will go directly to Second Helpings, which specializes in addressing hunger in our community.
They asked me, and I didn't even know it was an option beforehand, but I like these opportunities to easily give. So anytime that you can make a difference in a natural going about your day, it's like, why not?
RTV6 and the Scripps Howard Foundation will match up to $12,000 in donations. You can also donate by going to theindychannel.com/feedinghoosiers. Thank you for your help.
Hiring Hoosiers is our daily commitment to make sure that you know about jobs of all kinds every single day. And auto insurance giant Geico is looking to hire many Hoosiers. In fact, they're looking for 165 customer service and sales representatives at its Indianapolis office over the next 2 months. Geico's 1,400 Indianapolis employees, they're working from home. So all interviewing, hiring, onboarding, and training will be done virtually. New hires will also work remotely until the company transitions back to its offices.
And a business that's helping healthcare companies respond to the ongoing pandemic is also hiring Hoosiers. Now Courier is a logistics company that provides delivery options for companies primarily in the healthcare, e-commerce, and financial industries. Right now, during the pandemic, they are busy transporting both COVID-19 and COVID-19 antibody tests to and from more than 60 Indiana labs and healthcare facilities. Because of that, they need to hire more drivers. You can find out how to apply for these and many other jobs that are available right now at our website, hiringhoosiers.com. And you can soon expect a knock on your door if you haven't filled out your census yet. The Census Bureau says workers will start going door to door again beginning next month. The Bureau suspended in-person visits when the coronavirus pandemic began. And the deadline for people to respond was moved from the end of July to the end of October. So far, about 60% of households have responded to the census. Todd, did you fill out your paperwork?
I did. You know, I knocked it out of the way as soon as I got the thing in the mail, went right to my computer, filled it out. It was nice and easy. Took all of maybe 2 minutes. So, yeah, make sure you get that done. And so you're accounted for. All right, lots of sunshine outside this morning. It's a beautiful start to what will be a terrific Tuesday for us. Not a cloud in the sky as you look on the RTV Weather Now camera. And that's the view no matter where you are across central Indiana, whether it's downtown to the north or we would flip this to the southeast or west. We are enjoying not only a sunny start, but a very comfortable start. We talk about dew points a lot, and you see numbers a lot. Essentially, all you need to know is when you're in the 50s with the dew point, comfortable. That's why I have that word on there for you. When we start talking about dew points up in the 70s, that's getting to more of that Florida or tropical-like feel. And eventually we will see our dew points start to creep up and the humidity creep up as well as we work our way towards the tail end of the week. So soak in the nice weather that we have today and for pretty much for tomorrow as well. Temperatures right now are in the 50s and 60s, 59 in Martinsville, 57 in Bloomington, as well as Connorsville, 56 in Richmond. Muncie's at 60 degrees as we work our way throughout the day today. Our normal high is 82 degrees. We'll be at or above that in spots across the area today. 82 in Tipton, 84 the high temperature today in Logansport to the south. Temperatures very similar. We're all kind of in the air mass together, or the same air mass, so that's why there's not going to be a big difference temperature-wise across the area. 83 in Seymour, 84 in Bloomington, around 82 to 83 degrees here in and around the metro area as well with that sunshine and the low humidity. Here is the satellite radar picture. Nothing going on. That's just some feedback you see there north of Richmond. There are no showers out there this morning. And as we expand out, it's been a pretty rough go of it down in the Carolinas and Virginia with some heavy rainfall. And you notice that it's trying to throw some of the clouds, the storms, that is, the clouds and rain back towards central Indiana. So some clouds may sneak in here as we get towards the evening hours, but they'll just be the fair weather cumulus clouds. We're not looking at anything significant as far as cloud cover goes. So it's a day very similar to yesterday with the clouds building in, just a nice breeze, and temperatures today, again, that will be climbing all the way up into the low 80s. Tomorrow we make the jump up to about 86 degrees for your Wednesday forecast. And then as we go forward throughout the next couple days, Thursday mostly sunny, 88 degrees, and then there it is on Friday, more humid, hazy sunshine, and a high temperature that gets up to 91 degrees. So going forward in this forecast, we build in the heat, we build in the humidity as well towards the end of the week. And as far as rain goes, which we actually could use a little of. We're running over an inch below normal in Indianapolis as far as rain goes. We'll have some spotty storms on Saturday, a little better chance of scattered storms on Sunday and Monday. But if you do have weekend plans, the heat is definitely the bigger issue. Do not cancel any plans outdoors because of the storm chances. As we typically see during the summer months, we're just going to be dealing with those scattered variety of storms. And by the way, Saturday, also the first day of summer. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at your Tuesday morning commute. This is I-69 near the I-465 ramp system on the northeast side. You can see traffic is picking up both northbound and southbound there on your interstate, and it is sunny out there, so grab the sunglasses before you head out on the roads this morning. No crashes or delays to slow down your Tuesday commute.
If you watched last night's 3-hour recap of Caitlin Bristow's Bachelorette season, you might be wondering what she's up to now. Coming up today on Good Morning America, Caitlin is telling all about why her life after The Bachelorette is better than ever. We'll be right back.
All
RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
Welcome back. Well, it was almost the end of the line for his species, but an old tortoise wasn't going to let his kind go down without a fight.
Now, with a little help from biologists, not only is the tortoise doing well, Raphael, he has a new extended family, and that means he will not become extinct.
So let me tell you the story about Diego, the Galapagos turtle that came to the rescue on the island of Española, which is part of Ecuador in South America. You see, Diego is 100 years old, and he was loaned to the island by the San Diego Zoo. That's because Española was down to just 14 Galapagos tortoises. But thanks to Diego and his, shall we say, romantic efforts, the island has now been repopulated with more than 2,000 tortoises.
Whoa, wow.
Diego, as you can imagine, is now able to retire after a career as perhaps the most desirable shell dweller of all time. Listen up, Bachelorette Tortoise Edition. Diego's out there.
Dang.
Wow.
Todd, Diego's giving you a run for your money being the most eligible bachelor.
I'd say so.
You know, I mean, tortoises are known to be slow movers. Diego's nothing short of a slow mover, that's for sure. All right, let's talk weather. Lots of sunshine in the forecast here for the day today, with temperatures climbing up into the low 80s. 86 degrees tomorrow for your high temperature, then eventually up to the 90s as we get into Friday and Saturday. Saturday, also the next chance of a spot storm, better storm chances as we work our way into Sunday and Monday. But overall, it's a pretty dry stretch of weather for us here, with just the humidity building and the temperatures climbing as well as we head towards the end of the week. But today, almost picture perfect.
All right, Todd, thank you. We're back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic updates.
All your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app. Thanks for watching Good Morning Indiana. Get out.